घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। नमयों विष्णुपादाय श्रीगौरप्रियमूर्तये श्रीमते भक्तिवल्लभतीर्थगोस्वामिनामिने। कृपया क्षमतामपराधिजनं कलुषायुतशक्तसुदीननरं सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं प्रणमामि च माधवदेवपदम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter number 12. We heard the last Brahmana Bharat is replying to Rahugana when Rahugana asked him to explain about this in detail, how the Atma inside the body is not fatigued even though the body is fatigued. And also you told that the activities of a person as a king or a carrier or a slave is all, temporary, customary. They are not real, actual or factual. But as a king one has to perform the duties. How can you say that they are only customary and not real? Please explain in detail, as I have not understood. Then Bharat is replying that you see, in this material world everything is transformation of earth. The earth is transforming into various objects, but ultimately, even though we see them as different objects, they are originated from mud only. In a similar manner, the moving, non-moving creatures are there, transformation of earth. The moving creatures have feet, ankles, thighs, torso, shoulders, head, etc., one over the other. They are also transformation of earth. Those who are carrying the palanquin. They are named as palanquin carriers. On top of their shoulders is a palanquin which is also earth, transformation of earth, in which you are sitting. The king is sitting, you are also transformation of earth. But you are identifying yourself as a king of Sindhu Desha or Saubira Desha. Therefore, because of your identification of the self, you are, thinking that this happiness or misery is there. My dear king, you see, a king is supposed to take care of his subjects properly. But you have employed these palanquin carriers forcefully. You are not offering them any salary. On top of it, you are extracting lot of work from them and punishing them. So this is not called as ruling the citizens or ruling the persons. It is a merciless act. You are telling that it is the dharma of a king, it is the duty of a king to take care of the citizens, but this is not called taking care of citizens. This is your, nirdaya, mercilessness. And in fact, it is adharma. It is irreligiosity. It is not right. We'll continue from verse number 8. Yada kshitaveva चराचरस्य विदामनिष्ठां प्रभवञ्च नित्यं तन्नामतो अन्यद्व्यवहारमूलं निरूप्यतां সৎক্রিয়ানুমেয়ম। আমরা যখন পৃথিবীতেই স্থাবর জঙ্গমের নাশ ও উৎপত্তি সর্বদা দেখিতেছি, তখন পৃথিবী ভিন্ন অন্য কাহারও বিকার নাই। You see, we are seeing the transformation or the creation and annihilation of so many creatures. So many living beings are getting created and they are dying, both moving and non-moving. We see that the trees are growing, they are dying. Again, fresh trees are growing, they are dying. In a similar manner, we see the living entities, other creatures, they are taking birth, they are dying. So all this, actually, we think that, oh, there is birth and death, there is transformation going on in various bodies. No, transformation is of the earth only. The earth itself is getting transformed, not that, one is getting, the body is getting transformed, right? It is taking birth, it is staying for some time, it is producing offsprings, it is dwindling, and ultimately it is dying. These are the 6 transformations of the body that we see. But this is nothing but transformation of earth, because this body is made out of earth only. This is made out of earth. Therefore, we need earth. We are eating. What are we eating? We are eating fruits. We are eating vegetables. We are eating rice. We are eating, wheat, barley, etc. Where are they produced from? Earth. The transformation of earth only. Because this body is made out of earth, we require these elements to maintain them. Whatever is the material made out of, it requires that kind of a material only. Isn't it? When a cot is broken, when a chair is broken, you cannot, use a plastic thing to make the wooden chair, or fix the wooden chair. You have to use another wood. Wooden chair is broken, 3 legs are made out of wood, one you cannot put plastic, that also has to be wood. You have to replace it with another wooden, stick. So, in a similar manner, the body is a transformation of earth. So, to maintain the body, only something that is transformation of earth is required, not anything else. So, that is why it is told that we are seeing that many living beings are getting created and annihilated and transformed, but it is nothing but transformation of earth only. Mud only is assuming the form of this particular living creature, and then it is again collapsing and entering back into mud. अन्य जावतीय परिणामशील वस्तु नाम मात्र भिन्न जेहेतु से सकल पृथ्वी होते अपृथक. And others, whatever is there, they are different only by name. They are transformation of earth only, but they are only different by name. For example, there is earthen pot, there is an earth plate, there is an earth bowl, there is an earth, spoon, etc. But ultimately they are all made of earth. Name is different. This is cup, this is the saucer, or this is the plate, this is the spoon, this is the pot. In this manner, name is different, but it is all mud ultimately. In a similar manner, this body also, which is taking birth and dying, that is also nothing but transformation of earth only. It is only different by name, but it is earth. Like table is there, chair is there, window is there, door is there. Name is different, but it's all made of wood, which is transformation of earth. So, because they are not different from earth, it is nothing but transformation of earth only. अर्थ क्रिया अर्थात जल आनयन आदि कार्यर द्वारा যাহা সত্য বলিয়া অনুমিত হয় সেই সকল ব্যবহারের কারণ পৃথিবী ছাড়া আর কি হইতে পারে তাহা আপনি নির্ণয় করুন. You see, there is a pot to bring water, to fetch water. We are bringing water in a pot. It is actually nothing but the earth is being used to carry that water. So rather than, we don't call it as earth carrying the water, but we will say the pot is carrying the water. But ultimately, if you see, it is earth only. It is not different. So Jadabharat is telling that you please decide to yourself, what do you call it as other than earth? What do you call this pot as other than earth? Because it is not different. Shri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur writes in the commentary, যদি বলেন দেখুন অভিমান শূন্য মুক্ত ব্যক্তিরও প্রারব্ধ জনিত সুখ ও দুঃখ ভোগ শ্রবণ করায় আপনারও ভার বহন রূপ কার্যের যে শ্রম তাহা প্রত্যক্ষাদির দ্বারা দৃশ্যমান রূপে অবাধিত বলিয়া ব্যবহার মার্গের অপ্রমাণ্য আপনার এই উক্ত সম্ভব nahe. If one were to say that a person who is free from mundane or material designations, that I am a king, I am a slave, I am this, I am Brahmana, a person who is free from mundane designations, even such person experiences happiness and distress due to prarabdha karma. Due to the karma that he has performed in the past and fructified, they are also experiencing some happiness and distress. You see, the pure devotees are there. From time to time, there is some happiness and distress that is, experienced by them. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is telling that if one say that these are all vyavaharatmak, means they are just customary, just an outside practice, not in reality, outside practice of he is a king or he is a slave. So they are customary relationships, but not factual relationships. If you are saying that, even the liberated souls, they also experience happiness and distress. You are telling that these customary activities, by someone is carrying the water or on the earthen pot, or somebody is doing some endeavor, then he is troubled, he is getting distress, etc. Bharat is replying, no, only when one is identifying oneself with that, there will be distress. That I am a king, I am supposed to be honored, but I am not respected properly. That is the reason one is troubled. If you have no such designation, if you don't think yourself as someone who needs to be respected, who needs to be honored, or you are someone who is, what do you call, a great personality, you don't identify yourself. You are just a created being of Supreme Lord, just a lump of matter. If you don't have such false identification, then there is no trouble, because somebody is blaming you. Jada Bharat, so many persons were blaming him, they were exploiting him, they were engaging him in various duties, not giving him proper money. Forget about giving proper money, they are not even giving proper food to him. But he did not, protest, he did not counter react. Why? Because he is not identifying himself with any of the material things. So at least I need to be seen as a human being. He is not having even that. At least treat me as an ordinary human being. If you don't consider me as a Brahmana, consider me as an ordinary. No, he is not having even this much of material identification. Therefore, there was no trouble. It's completely free from all troubles. Yes, your question.
Because of our ego or our attachment, now I can understand that we are identifying us as a
That is what I gave an example, that if I am identifying myself as thinking that at least treat me as a human being, if you don't consider me a king, if you don't consider me something, treat me as a human being. That is an ego that I need to be respected at least as a human. So this is the reason why we are getting troubled, because of our attachment to be honored by others, to be respected by others. Trouble is not because somebody is troubling us. Trouble is because we are thinking that we are not getting what we are supposed to get. Yes. So this is the problem. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is why told that I am not a Brahmana, I am not a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, nor am a Sannyasi, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Brahmachari. I am servant of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Now if I am servant of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, any material person, any person for that matter says anything to me, what will I lose? Can he snatch away my position as being servant of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna? Somebody can take away my wealth. Somebody can take away my, property. Someone can, make me dull by, let's say he has beaten me on my head and I lost all my intelligence. But no living being can deprive me from my position of being servant of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Do you understand? One can deprive us from being a king. One can deprive us from being a demigod. One can deprive us from being something else. But nobody can deprive us from being a servant of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, how much ever one may try. Therefore, what are we losing? Prema dhana bina vyartha daridra jivan. If we don't have the wealth of love to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, it is useless life. But a person who has identified himself or who knows that I am servant of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and nobody can take away this position from me, he will never be in worry, never be in anxiety. If I have money, I will be in anxiety. Some thieves will come and steal that money away. Or if I am working in a job, I am worried that someone else will get promotion before me. But in Supreme Lord's support, there is no such discrimination, there is no such problem. Nobody can take away my position as being the servant of Supreme Lord. Therefore, here it is being told that the trouble, happiness or distress we are getting is only because of our identification with the body, or identification with the position that we artificially acquire or temporarily acquire. So, now the question is that the sadhus also sometimes experience happiness and distress, or happiness distress comes upon the sadhus also due to their prarabdha karma. Therefore, when you said these are all temporary or customary, how can it be true? তাহার উত্তরে বলিতেছেন সত্য। আমাদের ন্যায় মুক্ত পুরুষগণের বাধিতানুবৃত্তিতেই দুঃখ ও সুখের আভাস রহিয়াছে। যেমন স্বপ্ন হইতে জাগ্রতজনের স্বপ্নকালে দৃষ্ট সর্পের মিথ্যাত্ব জ্ঞান থাকিলেও কিছুক্ষণ পর্যন্ত ভয় ও কম্প অকিঞ্চিত করেই, কিন্তু নিদ্রিত ব্যক্তির নিকট স্বপ্নিক সর্প সত্য রূপেই প্রতিভাত হয়, যেমন তোমাদের ব্যবহার মার্গ। So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is giving an example, just like when a person is sleeping, in the dream he sees that he is in trouble, whatever it is. When he sees that he is in trouble, for example, a snake is following him or snake is about to bite him, he is in great distress, great trouble because of ignorance. What ignorance? That he is dreaming. He is not situated in knowledge. So because of that he is in ignorance, and therefore that is troubling him. But a person has woken up, he is situated in knowledge, immediately he will realize that, oh, that was a dream. Now, even though he realized that it was a dream, still for some time the after effect of the dream can be seen in an awakened state also, isn't it? In an awakened state also, when you have seen, let's say, a very, very fearful dream, very, very frightening dream we have seen. Now, while we were dreaming, we thought it to be real and we were frightened so much. But after we wake up, that ignorance is gone, oh, that was a dream, but the after effect of the dream is still remaining for some time. Right? Heart is palpitating very quickly, sweating. Even though you have not done any physical work, your heartbeat has increased. Yes. But even though they are staying for some time, you immediately say, thank God that was a dream. Isn't it? Thank God that was a dream. Means now you are immediately situated in knowledge, but because of the after effect, the trouble is there, that is insignificant. Understand? The trouble is there. Still, because of the after effect of the dream, the pain is there, but that becomes very insignificant when it is compared to when you are actually dreaming and in ignorance. That is the difference between the sadhus getting trouble and the materialistic persons getting trouble. One may say sadhus also get trouble. They also have these miseries and testing periods and challenges, etc. They are also there for the sadhu. Yes, but because he is situated in knowledge, fully awakened state, they are very, very insignificant for him. He will simply, not care for all these things in his path towards, Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. Whereas materialistic persons, they are lost in this. Oh, I need to set this right, I need to set that right, oh, I need to set the situation properly, oh, again this trouble may come. So we are trying to adjust the situations because of the ignorance. But the pure devotees, okay, while walking, all these things will come. Sometimes we fall down, sometimes some other trouble may come, sometimes there can be, torrential rain, sometimes there can be, what do you call, what is it called? Hurricanes. All these things might come on the way, but they will all last for some time and then go away. Let me not try to waste my time uselessly in trying to settle these things. Difference between a person who is ignorant and a person who is situated in knowledge. तथापि व्यवहार मार्गेर असत्यत्व जुक्तिर द्वारा दिखाइते चेन श्रवण करो यह बोलते चेन जदा जेहेतु पृथ्वी होइतेई चराचर सकल पदार्थेर उत्पत्ति एवं पृथ्वीतेई ताहादेर लय सर्वदा लक्ष्य करितेछि. You see, a person who is in knowledge, he will have this knowledge that everything is a transformation of earth only. Everything is a transformation of earth. जेहेतु समस्त विकार पदार्थेर पृथ्वी भिन्नत्व ना हुआय अर्थात पृथ्वी भिन्न घट प्रवृत्ति अन्य कोनो विकार पदार्थ ना थाकाय नाममात्र भेद व्यतीत अन्य कोनो व्यवहारेर मूल कारण अर्थ क्रियार द्वारा निरूपण करो यदि तुम्हार बुद्धि प्रकाशित है ए भाव. So my dear king, if you think you are intelligent, please prove it to me that all these things are other than transformations of earth. You prove it to me. Means indirectly he is telling that everything is transformation of earth. Nothing is outside the transformation of earth. They are only different by name. One is a palanquin carrier, other is a palanquin, other is a king. They are only different by name, but they are all transformation of earth. After a king is dead, what is done to his body? Burned. After a slave is dead, what will be done to the body? Burnt. Where are they both going? To the earth. Because he was a king, so many persons are, he is, okay, he is a king, how can we burn him, how can we bury him? No, we have to keep his body, we have to worship him. Anybody doing like that? No. Burnt ultimately. Because he has come from earth, he has to ultimately go back to earth. Wherever is our, root origin, we have to ultimately go there. A material is coming from one thing, ultimately after we have to reach there only, we have to go back to that place only. So just because one is a king doesn't mean his body is going to be treated separately. There is a difference. The difference is that so many persons may follow the king up to the burial ground, whereas for a slave, only his family members, 4-5 members may follow up to the burial ground. It's only customarily different. It's different only by custom, by practice, but not by reality. Do you understand the point? In reality, there is no difference. The customary behavior is different, that's all. The customary practice is different, that's all. That's that the king is taken on a very, very well decorated chariot, and so many persons are following him. Many trumpets, many bugles, and so many things will be played. Whereas a slave is dead, nobody is known, nobody is informed about it, he is simply taken and buried. That's all. That is the difference. Customary difference is there, but not in reality of ultimately getting burnt and going back to the earth. Therefore, my dear king, if you are knowledgeable, prove it to me that it is otherwise. अर्थात घट प्रवृत्ति पदार्थ केवल मात्र जलानयन प्रवृत्ति क्रिया द्वारा ही सद बोलिया अनुमित है, यह तुम्हें अवधारण करो. वस्तुतः मृत्तिका के बाद दिले घटादिर कोनो सत्ताई थाके ना बोलिया व्यवहार क्षेत्रे घटादि के सत बोलिलेउ ताहा सत नहे. Actually, all this spot etc., they are nothing but transformation of earth, but only for a customary activity it has been named differently. right? Somebody has to be told that bring water in the pot. Now bring water in the mud. If someone says, somebody may bring in the plate also, somebody may bring in the cup also, somebody may bring in the spoon also, isn't it? But you have to say bring it in the pot. So it doesn't anyway prove that pot is an object that is existing without mud. You are just giving a different name to mud, but that doesn't mean it is different from mud. Is it clear? If you say bring water with the mud, it may not be understood correctly. Therefore, bring water in the pot is told. But it does not mean pot is different from mud. It is only by practice the word is used, but it is not different from mud in any manner. Because if the mud itself is removed or not considered, then there is no existence of pot only. If you say pot and mud are different, then there is no existence of pot at all. श्रुतितेउ সেই রূপ উক্ত হইয়াছে वाचारंभणम विकारो इत्यादि अर्थात हे सौम्य एक्टि मृत्पिंड जानिलेई समुदय मृण्मय वस्तु जाना जाए विकार वाचा आरंभणम वाक्येर अवलंबन मात्र केवल एक्टि नाम मृत्तिकाय सत्य अर्थात मृण्मय वस्तु मृत्तिकारे विकार किंतु ए विकार आर किछुई नाहे यह केवल शब्दात्मक. Just like in Chandogya Upanishad it is told Vacharambhanam Vikaro. It is actually the mud. If the properties of mud are known, means if the mud is properly studied, then automatically all the preparations of the mud are also studied. Means you can also understand of the pot, of the spoon, of the cup, of the plate. All that is prepared with the mud can be understood if the mud is understood. Is it clear? If the root object is understood, then all the preparations out of this particular object are also understood. There is no separate existence from this mud. They are different only by name, but not by their intrinsic property. Okay? Now, Srila Prabhupada not allowed to read further or to see the watch. Srila Prabhupada also repeats almost the same thing. So before we don't have to read the purport again, but I will just mention one thing that Prabhupada writes here, that Ekmatra, I am not reading the entire purport because almost repeated what has been told here. So I will read that which is little different, or what is the conclusion of all these things, what are we arriving at, is described by Srila Prabhupada. अर्थात हे सौम्य एकमात्र मृत्तिकार विषय जानिते पारलेई ताहा होइते उत्पन्न घट प्रभृति माटीर पात्रगुलिर विषय जाना जाए, जे हेतु ओई पदार्थगुली मृत्तिकारेई रूपांतर नाम मात्र भिन्न. Chandogya Upanishad we heard one verse. The meaning of that is that if we understand the mud properly, then all the preparations of the mud are automatically understood, because they are only different by name but not by their properties. The properties of mud are still remaining there. Shruti Aro bolite chan एवं चर्विज्ञातम विज्ञातम भवति. एक विज्ञानेन सर्व विज्ञानम भवति. अर्थात एकेर विषय अवगत हइलेओ सकल विषय जाना जाए. इहार तात्पर्य এই যে কার্যের মূল কারণ অবগত হইলে তৎ কার্যের উপলব্ধি আপনা হইতেই হইয়া থাকে. The meaning of or the purport of this is that if we understand one object, everything in connection to that object is understood. That is, if you understand Brahman, if you understand the Supreme, everything in connection to the Supreme Lord is understood. Sambandha Jnana, the knowledge of relationship, is understood very clearly. Means nobody has to study Prakriti separately. Nobody has to study, Devatas separately. Nobody has to study Maya Tattva separately. Nobody has to study three modes of material nature separately. Nobody has to study the body separately. Nobody has to study Atma separately. If one has got knowledge of Paramatma, Supreme Lord, Parabrahma, all the knowledge is automatically there, because ultimately everyone is coming from the Supreme Lord. That is the conclusion of this particular verse. That, mud means, it is the Brahman. We are all coming from Brahman. If we understand the root cause of all causes, then all the temporary causes are known automatically. Understood? The root cause of all causes is Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. If Sri Krishna is understood, all the temporary causes, Prakriti, material nature, Maya, Karma, Kala, all these things, they are all, Karya. They are the effect of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. And they have become Karana for something else. They have become the, cause of something else. Like the demigods. Demigods are coming from Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Means who is the cause? Krishna is the cause. Krishna is the cause means the demigods are the, in technical words, they are the effect. Cause and effect. Cause and effect. Means I did something, right? I am the cause of something. Then the effect is, the result is something else. Do you understand? Cause and effect. So, Supreme Lord is the cause, the effect is the demigods. But these effects or demigods themselves are becoming cause of something else. Brahma is creating, he is a cause of something. Now, we are the effect of the demigods. Now, we ourselves are becoming cause of something else. We are creating progeny, we are producing children, we are becoming cause of something. Means my son or my daughter is my effect. That person himself or herself is becoming cause of some other effect. So this material world is a series of cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. Rather than studying all these individual causes and effects, if we understand the root cause, Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, all the other causes and effects are known automatically. That is Sambandha Jnana. Is it clear? যেমন মৃৎপিণ্ডের জ্ঞানে তজ্জাত দ্রব্যের উপলব্ধি হয়, সেরূপ সর্বকারণ কারণ ভগবানের বিষয়ে জানিতে পারিলে আর কোনো বিষয়ের অজ্ঞানতা থাকে না. Just like by the knowledge of the lump of mud gives knowledge of everything that is coming out of mud automatically, in a similar way, Sarvakarana Karanam, the cause of all causes, Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is known, then all the other temporary causes are also known. Nothing remains to be known by such a person. Ataiva Bhagavad Gyaner Ekmatra Satya, Gyani Ekmatra Satya, Ihai Param Bhagavat Bharat Muni Ashtam Hoite Ekadasha Sloke Kirtan Koriyachen. So, from this verse, starting from this verse up to 11th verse, Bharat is speaking about giving example of, mud. Ultimately, the point he wants to prove is that if you know the root cause of all these temporary existences, then everything is known. In a similar manner, the root cause of all of us is Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. If one has knowledge of that Supreme, then everything else will be known automatically. He is giving through this example of mud from verse number 8 to 11. এই সম্বন্ধে अधिक जानते इच्छा करिले पूर्ण प्रज्ञ दर्शन आलोच्य. So, if one want to understand in more detail about this subject, there is Purna Pragya, who has given commentary to the Chandogya Upanishad that we read just now, Chandogya Upanishad verse. One can go through the purports of that. One can understand in more detail. That is, that Yasmin Gyate Sarvamidam Vigyatam Bhavati. By knowing whom everything else is known, that is Brahman. You have to know that Brahman. That is what is Bharat Muni telling. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Panchatattvatmak Shri Gaura Hari ki jai. परमाराध्यतम पतित पावन स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोस्वामी श्री गुरु महाराज की जय. नित्य लीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति दयित माधव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. जगत गुरु श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय. श्री श्री रूपानुग गुरु वर्ग की जय. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय. श्री कृष्ण द्वैपायन वेदव्यास महामुनि की जय. श्रीमद् भागवत श्रवणकारी भक्तवृंद की जय. श्री चातुर्मास्य व्रत पालनकारी भक्तवृंद की जय. श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. गौर प्रेमानंद